Yes, welcome to the Vanguard Show on Podcast, October 9th, 2022. This is Black Panther History Month, and I got a brother who's, he's a special brother who I've wanted to chop it up with for quite a while. Brother who's been able to merge his activism with his artistry. And he's a Tacoma-based hip-hop artist, host of Panther Politics podcast. I'm jealous because I would have took that name. And yeah, and also he's the leader of the Black Panther Party of Washington. Brother, first, how are you, man?
Oh man, I'm doing good, brother. Doing good. I can't complain. You know, it would be pointless to do so anyway.
Oh, I can dig that, man. I've been following you. Oh yeah, right on, man. I've been following you for a long time, man, and I appreciate your grind. Appreciate love your music. I mean, I've watched all your videos. And first of all, I want to ask you, discuss the significance of your name, Bunchy Carter.
Okay, so I mean, this is Black Panther History Month. For those who are unaware, Bunchy Carter was the leader of the LA chapter of the Black Panther Party. Not only that, he was also highly respected in the community because he was a quote unquote gang leader. You know, I'm not going to sugarcoat that. He was a gang leader.
Right.
He went to prison, did his time, found his way to the revolutionary side of things after joining the Nation of Islam. And Bunchy was he was a man amongst men. You know what I'm saying? So the significance of that is, my father was a Panther. So when I was younger, I guess I've always been a leader. I never looked at it like that, but he was like, yo, he used to call me, little Bunchy when I was young. And I never knew who he was talking about for the longest time. I finally figured out what it was. I was like, oh man, that's powerful. That's a lot to live up to. You know what I'm saying?
Right on.
Powerful brother.
Man, right on, man. Did you grow up in Washington, man? Because you have a very East Coast vibe, but you're from Washington.
Nah, man. I only been in Washington for 6 years, man. I moved out here from Carolina, and I guess you could say that's where I got my wings, so to speak. I got really deep into activism there. I was president of the Yahoo movement in North Carolina for a couple of years. Okay. And of course, just being involved on the ground with a lot of different movements that were starting up. I've been in a lot of different organizations, and I'm glad to say that I finally found my proper home, so to speak.
Oh, right on, man. Right on, man. Well, tell me about how you came up with the Black Panther Party of Washington, and what are the goals and objectives?
Well, actually, our chief of staff, Overnight X, he actually was the person who birthed this particular chapter of the party. It was kind of time when George Floyd and many others. For those who aren't aware, Manny Ellis was a gentleman, a young brother from Washington State who died in a fashion very similar to George Floyd.
Okay.
And the activity was really high at the time, and I saw a lot of things. No disrespect to anybody who got out and did it for the right reason, but the BLM thing just didn't seem like my cup of tea.
Right.
I can't really support anybody that's walking around making themselves a target with no means of defending themselves. So,
right.
When a brother came to me and said, "Hey man, what do you think about bringing the Panthers back?" I was like, "Sounds like a good idea."
Okay.
So
all right.
And that was actually in October 2 years ago. So our 2-year anniversary is coming up, October the 15th. No, October the 11th.
Okay.
And of course, we already know that the Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party, is October 22nd. So we're like a week ahead of them.
Oh, okay. All right. Right on, man. And tell me about some of the programs and coalitions.
Well, right now we do park cleanups, community cleanups. We do FTP, feed the people, we feed the houseless community. But I mean, that's not just for the houseless community; it's for anybody who may be in. We just had a winter clothing giveaway a couple of weeks ago, and we continue our winter clothing drive throughout the winter and continue to distribute those goods. Of course, we do community patrols, patrol the police, as well as patrolling the community itself, because sometimes the people we need the most protection from is us. So
right. I can dig it.
So I mean, that's really what's going on now. We just started the Che Brooks Book Club. It's moved my brother Che Brooks from Chicago. He was Fred Hampton's Minister of Information.
Okay.
And we also started we just started the Phoenix Shakur Community Political Education classes, which will be starting not this coming Thursday, but the following Thursday. So I mean, everything that we saw that the Panthers do we're trying our best to walk in those footsteps. However, the difference that we see now is that a lot of programs they had to build from the ground up. There are other organizations who are doing those things now. So it's more about building partnerships with people who are already doing things. So the American Indian, we work with them. The Brown Berets, of course. A lot of the other Panther formations around the country, we cool with them. As long as they follow the 10 points, we can rock. And we do a lot of work with the SDA, DSA here in Tacoma.
Okay.
Man, it's a lot of people. Like really, it's been really cool to see that there are so many organizations that are actively working for the benefit of the people. And it's not one of those situations where we came and nobody else was doing the work, so we got to do it all.
Gotcha. I got you. Yes. Now, I was going to say, is there a future plan for a base of operation in terms of an office?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Are there any future plans for a base of operations, i.e. an office?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We actually are maybe a week away from that right now. And it's taking a while just because the real estate situation in Washington is really crazy.
Yeah.
And everything's really expensive, and a lot of stuff we do is out of pocket. And we're working towards being more, being more ingrained in the community and into the political side of things, so that we can start acquiring some grants and other things to help push these things forward, so that we're not going broke trying to keep other people from being broke.
Right.
It's a lot that goes into it, but the biggest part for me is recognizing what the need is and filling that gap. So even if it's got to come out of the pocket for right now, at least I got it to come out of the pocket with, and the other person I'm trying to help probably doesn't. So.
Oh, right on, man. Well, how can people contact you and support the Black Panther Party of Washington?
Okay, so if you want to, you can find us on Facebook, the Black Panther Party of Washington. On Instagram is bpt.wa. If you would like to make a donation, you can donate to BPPW on Cash App. We also have a PayPal. I think the @ on the PayPal is the same, BPPWA, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I don't really deal too much with the finances, so.
Okay, I got you. I understand.
As Minister of Defense, there's a lot of things that I know, but there's a lot of things that I try my best not to get involved in, so that I can focus on defense.
I can dig that, brother. I can dig that. But how I got involved with you in terms of learning about you, man, was your music. And tell me about this event right here, man, because your imagery, you got the Omar thing going, brother. Talk to me about this upcoming event and what how you do your imagery, brother, because I was a big fan of The Wire, Omar, but at the same time, I had that revolutionary ideology as well. Tell me about that, man.
Absolutely. Shooting Stars 2, my most recent project, was produced by a legendary Tacoma producer, Trust One. We actually did the first Shooting Stars in 2014, I want to say 14 or 15, right before I moved. So the biggest thing for me with The Wire and Omar, first of all, Michael K. Williams was an incredible actor. Oh, yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. Rest in power, definitely. Yes.
His character was so unexpected.
Yeah.
But if you look at him, despite the fact that he was a stick-up kid, he shot people, he was, a lot of people make a big deal out of the fact that he was gay. I really don't care about that part of it. But, but considering the type of environment he was in and the role that he played in that environment, him being gay was that much more of like a what? What I'm saying?
Right.
And so I always say, if you subtract a couple of things from Omar's character, he and I are a lot alike.
Okay.
I wasn't revolutionary. I wasn't always working on the right side of the people, and I can admit that. So by virtue of me seeing him being the principled individual that he was, despite however skewed people may say those principles are because of the game that he was in, you have to respect the person who has a code. And I look at his code as his own personal 10-point platform program.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Omar was actually going about it in a way that most people wouldn't, but he was definitely going about it in a way that would bring about some kind of community power by virtue of taking the power away from people he didn't think deserved to have it.
Okay.
So, I look at Omar's character a lot different than most people. A lot of people say, "Oh man," and I'm like, "Nah, it's more to it than that. It's a whole lot more to it than that."
Oh, okay. All right. And you got to talk to me about Panther Politics podcast, brother. Talk to me about that.
Oh man, yeah, Panther Politics is. I got to the point where I was like, man, I have questions I would love to ask people.
Okay.
Because I watched them do interviews, and I'm like, well, why you didn't ask that? Like, why you didn't ask
Right.
that? Like, this is my opportunity. Maybe I can open some doors for some people who may not have as big an audience as they want, right. And there may be something they can say that these other interviewers aren't giving them the option to say.
Okay.
So I created Panther Politics to get an opportunity to talk to artists that I like.
Okay. All right.
And, and also just to give people a platform to say, hey, I know I was just on A, B, and C show where they never ask the hard questions. They all ask canned questions that come from, wherever. And so I give them my opportunity, like while they're talking, I don't ever predetermine what questions I'm going to ask. I may have two questions I know I want to ask.
Right.
Everything else is based off of what they say. So
okay.
I think it's more real that way.
Okay. I can dig that. All right. Yeah. And how can people check out your podcast?
Oh man, the pod is everywhere. I actually shout out to Anchor.fm for being the distribution hub for my podcast. It's on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, like almost anywhere you listen to podcasts, you can find it. I'm actually on a short break right now, kind of sort of. We're changing some things about the production aspects of the show. We want to do more video and not video. So we're working towards solidifying some stuff so we can make sure that happens. Just so that the quality we give to the people builds up to the quality of what's being, the presentation got to be as good as what you give them. Otherwise, they're never going to know how good it is.
No, that's true. That's so true. That's absolutely right, man. And again, man, you're going to be in Portland, right, for the Shooting Stars experience?
Oh yeah, the next Shooting Stars Experience tour show is October 21st in Portland. Mm-hmm. The show's out because I have a life. I got a job.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I just kind of got to play it how it's going to be convenient for me. I know most people are like, oh man, you're supposed to go on tour and be gone for weeks and months. I don't have time for that. I got kids. I got responsibilities. I got party duties I have to attend to. So the most important thing for me is making sure that I take it to where I know people are listening and where I know people have been supportive of my music. I'll get them first, and everybody else comes second. So Portland has been extremely supportive of the music. The Bay Area has been extremely supportive, so we'll be going there after Portland. Even Portland, the whole, we'll be going there. And we do have plans to hit the East Coast at the beginning of the next year. So.
Okay. Well, man, I hope you come down to Atlanta. I definitely will come check you out. And
you
also,
already know. As soon as I know I'm coming, I'm gonna let you know.
Yeah, please do that, man. Please do that. And where can people go look at your videos, man? Because I just love all the videos you made, man. With your songs. Where can people go?
I special shout out to my bro Gabriel. He, my shooter. He shoots he shot almost every video I've recorded since I moved out here.
Wow. Okay.
And we tell a story for the video. You know what I'm saying? So if you're on YouTube, you can just go youtube.com/7thepanther. My page is verified. I got my own URL. You can find me there. Wherever you listen to music, 7 the Panther. I know it's spelled kind of weird for those of you who like to spell things properly, but
I got you.
I'm a pretty smart guy, but I'm still from the project, so
I feel you. And the significance of 7 the Panther, of course, 7 is a divine number that can never be divided. And then the Panther. How did you come up with that moniker?
Oh man, well, it's weird. I went through a lot of names. I went through a lot of names, and I won't go through all of them right now. But at one point, at first, my name was just 7.
Okay.
Just go with 7. And those of y'all who may have any knowledge about the Nation of Islam or the 5% Nation, I was a 5% at the time, so 7 representative of God, God's perfect number, and all of that stuff. So 7 was the name I went with. I went to go trademark it, and someone else had the name trademarked already. It was like an R&B singer from the UK or some crap like that. And I was like, okay. So I got to add something to it.
Right.
There was a lot of stuff that I came up with, 7 to this and 7 to that. And I was like, man, wait. I'm in North Carolina. Right. The football team was the Panthers. My dad was a Panther.
Okay.
It speaks to me louder than anything else is a Panther. So 7 to Panther it is.
All right. Yeah, that's like deja vu almost. Yeah, just meant to be. Yes. And brother, also, but before I let you go, man, I definitely want to see how people can follow you on all your social media? Because I know you're in transit right now, but I want to make sure people can follow you and reach out to you. How would they do that?
Oh man, yeah. So if you want to, I mean, I know that Instagram has like specific ads or whatever, but if you type in Seven the Panther, you're gonna get me. My Instagram is Seven the Panther 253. Or you can follow me, Butchy Carter, MOD on the Panther side. But just know that unless I know you, you can't follow me on both.
Oh, okay, all right.
You know, you're one of the fortunate ones that I know you, and I know you good people.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, so you can follow me, Bunchy Carter, MOD. You can follow me. You can add me on Facebook, Bunchy Carter, or Seven the Panther. Either or. And again, chances are you won't be on both, so pick wisely.
Okay.
That you scored the most first. But yeah, I mean, that's on all socials. My name's too long on Twitter, so it's just Seven the Panther on there. Or you can follow BPPWA or WA_BPP on Twitter to follow the party. Yeah, we're everywhere, man. We're everywhere. It's only going to get bigger for people. Our objective is to put the Black Panther Party back in the position that they were supposed to be in before all of the COINTELPRO stuff started happening. I also want to give a shout out to the Panther Party, which is our comrades on the other side, formerly the White Panther Party. They're now just the Panther Party. They accept everybody who isn't Black. So if you're Puerto Rican, Asian, whatever, and they're in the process of opening a new branch along with our brother sister branch, however you want to call it, down in San Diego. So a lot of good things happening. They're gonna start roaring like it's supposed to.
Okay, I can dig that, man. And do you have any future projects that you haven't mentioned here?
Oh man, yeah, I got a project called Mamba Mentality with my guy Ray Ron Beach, Takeover Music Collective. Shout out to my team.
Okay.
Got it may be a Shoe Stars 3. I don't know. But
okay, all right.
We'll see a Quest for Greatness 2 coming. Me and my man Quest link back up. My brother AP and myself will be doing Fallen Angels music, and my group, the Nobodies from the 90s, together. So if you're looking for some new Nobodies music as well, it's a lot of dope stuff coming, man. Me and Brutal Caesar working on a project. Like it's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now. It's gonna be a whole lot of rapping going on for the next year. Some change. So.
Well, brother, let me know, man. And anytime you need to come on, just come on, brother. I really appreciate what you're doing out there, man.
I got you, brother, most definitely. And I got to get you on Panther Politics ASAP.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate that. And you just got to let me know when and where and what time, brother. Just know I'm East Coast time, though.
Oh, I do a lot of interviews with cats on the East, so that'll be kind of easy. I got you covered, most definitely.
Okay.
Can't wait to get to A and meet you in person, bro. Most definitely.
Oh, likewise, man. And keep doing what you're doing, brother. And I'll definitely be catching up with you real soon, man.
Yeah, I'll try my best, most definitely. All power to the people.
All power to the people. Right on.